weeks, DA. 2 weeks, fans. It's just 2 weeks away from history here at IZW. September 17th in the Danny Hodge Invitational live on GFL.TV. And we've got a lot to talk about tonight. It's me, Johnny Z, the owner of IZW, and your host every Friday night, right alongside everyone's favorite co-host, Big DA.
Well, Johnny Z, thank you very much, fans. We are 2 weeks away from the moment that changes IZW, our first ever internet pay-per-view. It's going to be a huge show. We have a lot to talk about, but tonight we're going to show you another opening round matchup for the Danny Hodge Invitational set up last week by yourself, Johnny Z.
Oh, yeah, DA. Last Saturday night, or actually last Friday night, I told everyone about this match. See, here's the deal. Gary Toole, Bernie D, they're the IZW Tag Team Champions. They had to have a first-round match. And with the big 8-man tag team match set up by Jeff, my brother, for the Danny Hodge Invitational, where it's going to be Team Impact Inc. versus Team Johnny Z, you know, I wanted to maybe mess with Team Impact Inc. a little bit. I went ahead and I put Randy Price and Jermaine Johnson in the Danny Hodge Invitational, DA, and let's make it clear, I really didn't think they had any chance of winning this match, but on the off chance that somehow they got lucky enough to win it, then that meant at the Danny Hodge Invitational they would have to work more than once, more than just the main event.
Absolutely. Why not make your opponents have to have that extra matchup, exert themselves a little bit more? We saw last Saturday night the cockiness of these two. Our World Heavyweight Champion, and sad to say, our 2011 Impact Player of the Year, Randy Price.
Well, you know, I mean, how dare the audacity of these two guys to be going in here against the old school suckers, Gary Toole and Bernie D. I mean, two guys with long time history in this business. They've been around for the better part of a decade. They've done many things in this business, multiple time tag team champions, singles championships. But Jermaine Johnson, Randy Price, they have no respect for anybody. They don't have any respect for the history of this business, the present of this business, or the future of this business. They're just a couple of scumbags that thinks that the IZW world revolves around them, kind of like my brother's head. You know, it
is large.
It's very large. And I'm surprised I don't see little satellites revolving around it sometimes. It's like a moon.
You talk about Coach Toole and Bernie D, and you could say that these men pretty much have seen it all in wrestling, and I'm not going to be surprised by the tactics of Impact Inc.
Man, I couldn't wait to see this match get underway. You know, fans, while we've got a moment, first off, let me remind you, you can be out here every Saturday night at the Impact Arena catching this action live. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. Every week it's a great show. And as well, if you want to be more than just a fan here at IZW, if you want to be a part of the IZW team, then be a part of the IZW Street Team. You can email us at izwstreetteam@izwrestling.com, or you can give us a call at 580-512-6081. If you've got any questions about it, you want to join up, just let us know, fans.
Impact Inc. already drawn with the crowd. We know how that's going to go. And you look across the ring at Bernie D and Coach Toole, and I got to say, really, my favorites to win the Danny Hodge Invitational.
Oh, probably my favorites as well. You know, and Saturday night was so interesting, DA. There was just a lot of developments with the big main event, the Danny Hodge Invitational. Team Johnny Z really evolving. Team Impact Inc. going through some things of their own. This match right here, though, it was an excellent match. I have to say that. If you weren't here, fans, then you missed one heck of a match.
Definitely a good back-and-forth matchup, and the fans were really treated to this last Saturday night. And you got to think this week, another first-round matchup would be another great one.
I'm sure there will be, DA. You know, fans, we're going to take a break here for a moment. When we get back, more of Impact TV.
Could you be IZW's next superstar? Impact Academy training is open year-round. Learn from IZW's best. Who knows, you could be the IZW World Heavyweight Champion, like Jermaine Johnson. He trained at the Impact Academy. If you think you can handle it, call today. Impact Inc. Tattoo Studio, 1008 South 11th in Lawton. From the outside to the inside, at Impact Inc., you'll find artistic expression at the core of everything they do. The finest artists in Texoma can imagine and create custom ink for you, or we can realize in ink anything you imagine. And Impact Inc.'s body modifier can do it all. From corsets to dermals to exotic piercings. And every Friday afternoon, it's $50 Friday. Come see what that's all about. Impact Inc. Tattoo Studio, 1008 South 11th in Lawton, 699-7530.
Saturday, September 17th, IZW goes live on pay-per-view. The Danny Hodge Invitational. You'll see the tournament semifinals and finals. Plus, Angel Williams gets his hands on the monster wage with a 20-foot dog collar chain. And bad blood boils over as Impact Inc. faces Team Johnny Z in an 8-man tag. Live at the Impact Arena or live on pay-per-view at GFL.TV. Shady Sands presents the Danny Hodge Invitational. Saturday, September 17th. With only 2 weeks away from IZW's first pay-per-view, the Danny Hodge Invitational. Tomorrow night, another first-round tournament match. Kenny Campbell and Dustin Heritage go face-to-face with Soto Miyagi and the Midnight Rider. Kevin Morgan meets Double D for his Impact Division Championship.
Will we hear from Angel Williams?
And will Johnny Z find the fourth member of Team Johnny Z? Find out tomorrow night, live at the Impact Arena, 1009 Southwest F in Lawton.
And look at this move, DA. As much as I cannot stand Jermaine Johnson, there is a reason he's the IZW Heavyweight Champion, and it's due to the fact that he has excellent abilities, DA. He's a superb athlete with great God-given abilities and gifts, but the facts are, he's a great singles wrestler. He and Randy Price have not had much success as a team, and come the Danny Hodge Invitational, they're going to have to be a team.
Well, that's a really good point. You know, you look at Jermaine Johnson, the success he had with Blackout, the success Randy Price had with Arrogant Money, and multiple-time tag team champions, but they can't seem to put it together. It's almost like there's just not that chemistry there, like you're saying.
Well, you're correct, DA. And later on tonight, in the main event here on Impact TV, you'll see Double D and myself, our match from Saturday night, where we took on the future Hall of Famers, John O'Malley and Bad Brad Michaels. And, I seem to think our chemistry was pretty good Saturday night.
It's weird to hear you say that, but, maybe it's part of that respect thing. A lot of that chemistry is built off that respect you two seem to have for each other.
There is a lot of respect for Double D and myself with each other, DA. And, maybe that's some of the problem with Impact Inc. As you've said before, egos run rampant in that group. And maybe there just isn't respect for each other within that group.
There's so many large egos together.
There's no leader, if you will, within Impact Inc. at this point.
Maybe because they lost their natural-born leader, one could say.
Well, who knows? You know what, though? The natural-born leader, Johnny Z, he was out recruiting Saturday night as well. I told everyone Team Johnny Z was evolving Saturday night, going through changes. Well, you know what? After this match, we're going to show you a video. We're going to show you exactly who I was out recruiting, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. There's a lot to come on Impact TV tonight. Look at this right here. Randy gets in.
You talk about
Bernie D never quitting.
Absolutely. When you talk about the chemistry, Coach Toole
and
Bernie,
teamwork.
they're best friends, and a lot of chemistry there. Coach Toole's on the outside, really pumping Bernie D up, trying to will him over to that corner and make the tag, and it finally worked.
It didn't. Look at this. Gary Toole on fire right there, throwing Jermaine Johnson out of the ring, backdropping him right over the top rope.
The veteran that he is.
The big leg whip by Gary. Big man getting up. Look at him, all fired up, excited. He's got the passion again. What's that, bobblehead?
Your brother inserting himself in this matchup, and the shot with the heavyweight
I thought they were going to steal one here. I really did. Look at this.
Very close.
Here we go. The belt shot, the ref missed it, but
let's take another look at that in our Impact replay.
Quit.
You see right here. Oh, man. And that is a heavy, heavy title belt, fans.
Well, I guess it doesn't take a lot of God-given abilities or athletic ability to hit somebody with the title belt, does it?
Right there.
But Double D,
the second
my
member
partner,
of Team Johnny Z. Out to
right
even
there,
the odds.
You want to talk about chemistry? There's our chemistry. He knows exactly how I do things, and he handled it the same way.
And Randy Price with that trophy that he basically stole from Aaron Neal, but right there, chemistry.
Right there, the big tag team finish by our IZW Tag Team Champions. The 1, 2, 3. And the old school suckers, they move on to the semifinals of the Danny Hodge Invitational, so you'll be guaranteed to see the IZW Tag Team Champions September 17th on GFL.TV. Fans, we're going to have our main event here shortly, Double D and Johnny Z taking on the future Hall of Famers. But right now, that video I promised, let's have a look at exactly who I was out recruiting Saturday night.
Plus, we'll take a look at Brent Albright. Fans, please welcome a very special guest, the man who tonight will take on the awesome one, Kevin Morgan. It's the real deal, Aaron Neal. Aaron, thank you for taking the time to be here. We know that we're just 3 weeks away from the Danny Hodge Invitational. And like I said, we know that tonight you will face the awesome one, Kevin Morgan. But do you have any plans for the Danny Hodge Invitational?
DA is pretty simple. Let me guess.
You don't have to. You see, I think I just heard Big DA ask you if you had any plans for the Danny Hodge Invitational. Now, you and I, we go ways back. And I know we haven't always seen eye to eye. The fact is, I have to find the team. I already have one member. He's let bygones be bygones. So what do you say you do as well? You come out there September 17th and you help me kick the crap out of Impact Inc.
You already got one teammate, right?
Yeah.
You know, John, maybe some people can forget about the past. I can't.
Fans, let's take you back to the ring.
You've been around the world, and you've wrestled with me, the wrestlers, as I've wrestled. And you've beaten as many men as I've beaten. You get a reputation. Well, IZW has a reputation. IZW has a reputation for having some of the best wrestlers around. Well, come September 17th, IZW is going to have the best wrestler around. Brent Albright, Danny Hodge Invitational, September 17th. That's where I'm going to be.
Well, fans, we don't know exactly what Brent Albright's intentions are with Danny Hodge Invitational, but we do know he will make his IZW debut September 17th as we go live on Internet Pay-Per-View. But before that, we saw the interview I conducted last week with Aaron Neal and Johnny Z. I got to say, after that interview, I really felt I knew what Aaron Neal's feelings were about joining Team Johnny Z.
Well, you know, DA, that's where you and we view Aaron Neal a little bit differently, you know. I left that interview, that little session there with Aaron, knowing that I was in a pretty good place with him just due to the fact that he didn't hit me. You know,
you make a very
with all the
point.
history that Aaron Neal and I have, the fact that we could have any type of conversation and walk away without some form of physical contact, that let me think maybe I had a pretty good shot. But coming out here right now, the only thing that I could concentrate on, the only thing Double D could concentrate on was this match that we had coming up with the future Hall of Famers, DA.
You know, back to your point, he was very restrained in that interview, I will say.
Well, you know, facts are facts. Aaron Neal and I have a history, but Aaron Neal has a more recent history with Impact Inc. and a much bigger recent history with one individual by the name of Randy Price.
Absolutely, you know.
And going into this match, he had to be thinking about the fact that at the Danny Hodge Invitational, he wasn't going to get a heavyweight title shot like he was supposed to because of Impact Inc. and Randy Price. If he wanted to get his hands on him, well, he needed to be in that main event.